What other kind of racing games can you think of that are kind of mainstream? Apart from like Forza.
Well, there's obviously the Gran Turismos, and Gran Turismo was like a huge hit. Like that was massive.
That's single player almost.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
you see, that's the
exactly.
thing. When Gran Turismo came out, it was huge, but there was no real multiplayer, and it was like, it's so lax. But like, there's Forza, and everyone likes that, and then there's Blur, and it's like, yeah, it's fun for a bit, but then
Everybody liked Blur for about 2 weeks, and then everyone just went back to Mario Kart because it's more fun.
to be honest with you, I'd much rather play fucking Crash Team Racing. If there was Crash Team Racing online, I'd play that over Blur any day.
Yeah.
It's like, it's the same concept. It's just they trying to improve the graphics. They're still not even that good, and it's just kind of lame. I don't know. That's why like these first-person shooter games are really rocketing off now, because everyone's jumping on the bandwagon, and there's no fun in any of the other games.
But you don't see any other games on YouTube where you can actually record stuff, like in Call of Duty. Like you can record your gameplay, maybe Halo, and kind of put it up on YouTube, and you get like 1 million hits. You never see a racing game where you can put it up online and get like a fucking 2 million hits.
That's because nobody like. It's because there's not a lot of people who play them. It's like, if I didn't play Gran Turismo or whatever, I wouldn't YouTube a fucking montage for it or whatever.
Also, with the racing games, with the shooters you can record that, and people watching, they're like, oh, should use that gun and that way, and kind of pick up tips. Racing games, it's not really that hard. You don't have to pick up tips on racing.
Worst thing
take
was
the corner right, and that's it. You just have to get it right, just not right or wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
But there is a bit of skill involved, and Call of Duty is a lot of skill involved
Hold on,
as well.
but one thing though with like racing games I saw was like I kind of got upset when I saw it. Even I think it was in like Forza or something. They had like a green arrow pointing around where you could accelerate, and then it went red to where you had the brake and stuff like that. Like, I kind of found that ridiculous because
same
you
for
have to
Need
fucking
for
figure
Speed
that out.
Shift as well.
That's nearly on everything new one. You can turn it
Automatic
on or
braking
off.
and stuff like that. It's
Yeah, I think that's kind of pointless because when I
It's
had
like
to
having a
play,
lock-on
you had to
system
figure out everything else.
in a shooter game.
Yeah.
I think it's for like new players. I think maybe they put that in. I'm not sure.
Yeah, but it's not just racing games. I mean, there is diversity out there. It's just people generally would prefer to go with like Halo and COD and stuff like that. Even like there's a new Halo coming out, it'll probably sell fucking thousands upon thousands of copies, but the thing is, it's probably going to be pretty much the same as the last one, but they just released it for more money. And that's the thing, like, you don't find all these like kind of games that don't get as many hits as the first person shooters making tons of like, remakes or whatever, apart from the big hitters like Forza Motorsport
Assassin's Creed.
and stuff like that. Well, yeah, there's Assassin's Creed, like, but that does sell a lot.
It does sell a lot, but there's nobody playing multiplayer because it's still a single player game. It's still a sandbox game where you can have fun by yourself.
See, the thing is, the good thing about Assassin's Creed is there's that. The multiplayer is very strong, or the single player is very strong, but the multiplayer is kind of one-dimensional. It's sort of the same old sort of thing. Maps are quite small and you do all that stuff. It's fun, but there should be different game modes and there should be different stuff that you could do.
Yeah, there are different game modes, but it's basically the same thing. So you
Yeah,
have to
but I
kill
mean,
them.
more
Yeah.
diversity in terms of
Yeah,
that.
one
I mean,
thing like I really want, but I don't think you could really think of, is just basically like something better than like a game that relies on one game mode where it's, or like one or two game modes where it's just free for all or team deathmatch or like domination and team deathmatch or something like that. Like the ship had like as well as the whole free for all hunter thing, it had like VIP, which is where you actually had to escort somebody across a map or like had to just walk them around for 10 minutes before they like did, or like to save them from getting killed. It was like that. Those were all other good like matches. Like, and like I guess Quake had it in a minimal term where it was like it had only two, but those two were like about evenly spaced. So it was like capture the flag and free for all, or actually team deathmatch as well as those two, where like everyone played all three of them.
Exactly. I mean, there's stuff that has to be learned from from much older games. I mean, there's no point in really at the moment making all these new games. It kind of started off with the old concepts because they were really the best. I mean, everybody, like when you were a kid, you had your favorite games. I mean, if they look back at the top sellers back at the time, they could pretty much remake them and make them good. I mean, that's what they're trying to do with Duke Nukem.
And that's what they're doing with Halo 1.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Halo Combat Evolved. Yeah.
You see, that's pretty much what they have to do. They have to just go back to those old games and evolve them. I mean, the thing is, I think everybody would love if they made another, basically, essentially COD 4, except with totally different maps and a lot more guns.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be amazing. I mean, everyone would buy it and it would be awesome. I think it's too sort of it's gone too sort of shiny now. All this like this Modern Warfare 3, it's too like sort of shiny. Look at me, I'm a fucking Mac basically. It's like there's no like fucking there's no good honest gameplay. Like people won't stick to it. It'll be good for a week, a month, then the servers will go to hell and no one will play it anymore.
Like one thing is that I've always seen is that like nothing changes in it. Like you'll have one map or like you'll have about 10 maps and you'll keep playing those 10 maps, and for the first couple of weeks you'll be finding the ins and outs of it. You won't know your way around, or you might know your way around basically. But then after that week or 2 weeks, everything gets like so natural that you know your entire way around it. You know everywhere where there's choke points, everywhere where there's not, and then like you get bored of the maps and you know absolutely everything, so nothing is surprising. What would be good is if something like COD had something like was it Forge or something, where people make their own maps and ship or like spread them across.
Exactly, yeah, that'd be so awesome. And I've really honestly yet to see DLC in a COD game that I actually enjoyed.
Yeah,
I mean, I fucking hated all of them. Like Creek was okay in small doses.
Chinatown I liked though. Chinatown was kind of cool.
I disliked it. I mean, even these new ones. I mean, I'm sure in Modern Warfare 2 they had to actually make the COD 4 maps the DLC. I mean, there's just no innovation in that. The Black Ops maps are crap. Like the hotel and all that, and they were shit.
Actually, hotel would be really good for like a search and destroy match. I think that's probably why they made that one.
Yeah, there were a couple things that they kept in mind for like certain maps. Like I think Berlin Wall and other ones like that were kept in mind for snipers. Yet, like the one thing is that like either you're good at sniping or you cannot snipe in Black Ops.
The problem is with these new maps, they have way too many of these hiding spots and stuff like that, which just encourages camping, and it just gets on my nerves. And Black Ops has a huge problem with camping because it's full of 12-year-old kids who just play it all the time, and they seem like that they're just kind of go for kills all the time, even when it's purely objective, and just camp all the time, try and get up the kill streaks, and then they get this like a fucking nuke or a chopper gunner or dogs or etc. You know, and then it kind of takes out the fun because you can't play objectively because you're getting raped from the air and the ground by fucking shitloads of different things.
As well, like there's still hypocrisy in Black Ops, in the way that like that you can see that they tried in the very beginning of the game to make it a spray and pray only game, and then they ended up with new like maps and stuff like that, making it a campers only game.
I think zombies is the way forward for not for Black Ops, for Call of Duty, because you always had fun. We always played zombies. You know yourself.
Yeah,
we always played World at War zombies constantly on PC and together. Then Black Ops made it good, and the DLC maps were pretty good for it, you have to say. And with the innovation of actors was kind of pretty cool, and all that stuff. But I heard
and presidents.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
but
that was awesome.
In Modern Warfare 3, that theory of what's that going to be a new game mode? It's kind of like zombies. You have a team. You're fighting,
survival. Yeah,
survival. But it's not zombies. You're actually fighting people with guns, and they get harder every round. So sometimes you start off with like, was it 8 people? They have normal SMGs. You kill them. Next round they did better equip, better tactics. So maybe that will have a twist that maybe it's a new thing.
Yeah, I quite
solely
like that.
new thing.
Awesome.
And as well, there's one thing that I always liked, and one thing that I always tried to find more of in a game, which you wouldn't really think of trying to find it on, Gary's mod. I always got newer and newer weapons for that, and like wanted to just have waves and waves of like stuff coming at me. So if like survival has somewhere like with a create a class thing, that you could have survival.
I think you're gonna get to use your own class from online. And it's not going to be, you know, the way we're always trapped in a certain place in zombies. It's going to be a multiplayer map where you got fluid motion, so you're not trapped in a zone. You have the whole map to run around, and you can choose to stay in one building and defend yourselves, or you can go out and try to kill those guys end around quicker and all that stuff. So I think maybe that's the only thing that's going to change.
Is that not kind of like Left 4 Dead?
No, because in Left 4 Dead you have to walk through the map to end it.
Yeah.
In this you have to survive as many rounds, but you have the whole entire map. You're not stuck in the one building you were in that.
It sounds very like the zombies mod for COD 4.
Yes.
Yeah,
that's exactly
actually that
what
would
it
be
is.
so perfect. The zombies mod in COD 4, you have to admit, was so perfect.
It was so fun. It was
so
the
fun,
funnest
but the
thing.
zombies were weak.
Yeah,
but
like that wasn't even that much of a problem. Like, I mean, I bet the bots and AI and like
this would be
survival
good.
will like be like the AI and like the story mode, which is like 2 shots and they're down, or like 1 shot and they're on the floor, like in Last Stand or something.